So here we go, January 2012. At the time, I really didn't know how unhealthy I had become. I couldn't see what was happening because I had stopped looking in the mirror except to fix my hair and makeup. It was just too painful. It was also hard to go up and down stairs without getting winded. My back hurt quite often, and with the exception of going to the doctor, I wouldn't get on a scale, and I certainly didn't own one. I felt like there was nothing I could do.
Joining me now is Dr. Milady Murphy from Shelton State Community College, a health expert who you have been so helpful to me and instrumental throughout this entire journey of talking to me about healthy foods and exercise and how they work together to change a person's overall life. And I'm so grateful to you for that, Dr. Murphy. Before we share with everyone what we've done and how we've got to this point, can you share a little bit about how obesity affects someone internally and externally?
You know, Janie, the World Health Organization, as well as the American Medical Association, has addressed obesity not only as a crisis, but a health issue. And we are now seeing through the research what obesity actually causes. Internally, as you said, elevated bad cholesterol, elevated triglycerides. These are all risk factors for heart disease. Elevated blood pressure. It increases the risk of certain cancers. The metabolic X syndrome that we're seeing. Also the fatty liver disease that normally we were seeing with people as they age, we're now seeing in children as we deal with obesity for all ages. So obesity is a risk factor in and of itself that contributes to many diseases.
It does. We've seen that, as you said, in the research over and over again. And when you look at the photos there of the old Janie as opposed to what we're working on right now, it's evident that obesity, that the weight that was on this frame that I have here was affecting how I felt internally. I had back pain. It would just come out of nowhere, and it would just stay for days at a time. And then there were concerns with my doctor about my cholesterol. At one point, there was concerns they may have to put me on medicine. Thankfully, it didn't happen, but it affects you in so many ways.
Absolutely, Janie. And you know, now we're seeing, and you addressed it, the obesity on the body, that extra weight, not only affects the inside of the body, but it affects the outside. You know, how one looks, their self-esteem, that psychological component. And, you know, there's all kinds of pain associated with it, like joint pain, because it does tax the joints, the back, the knees, the hips. And so dealing with obesity is a health issue that we're now seeing in epidemic portions, not only in the United States, but around the world.
So you hear you should eat healthy, you should exercise, but when you're carrying that around, sometimes the energy is not there. So it's little steps, and we're going to talk about what those steps were to getting to the point where we could add exercise, and what happens when you decide that you're ready for that change, and that's what we're going to be doing.
But one night, there was no way to avoid seeing myself. I was cast in a film by UA student Alex Beatty called Here and Now. And when I saw myself on that giant screen, everything changed. Two thoughts collided at once. One was, wow, what have I done, and who is that woman? And the other one was, wow, being in this film is so exciting. I don't want to miss another opportunity like this. I'm ready for a change.
Joining me again now is Dr. Milady Murphy, health expert at Shelton State Community College. And Dr. Murphy, for as long as I can remember knowing you, when you would come visit us at WVUA, I was always so impressed with your energy, your vitality, your strength, and just your overall beauty and the energy that you would put out there. And I would ask you constantly, what do you eat? How do you do this? How do you look so good and have this aura about you? And you would tell me, you know, little bits here and there about what you were doing, but then I would say, do you ever even eat a cheeseburger or anything like that? And you would say, well, maybe once a year. And then you always said the same thing, though, at the end. And it stuck with me. I didn't know what it really meant, though. You said, when you are ready, you will know. And that night, when I saw myself on that big screen and things clicked, I became ready, and things changed. What does being ready really mean for someone? And why is that important for success?
You know, Janie, and we've discussed this, you and I, so many times. You know, people know what they should do. I mean, the internet, television is abundant with steps they should be taking, what the information is. But you have to be mentally and physically ready to not only go on that journey, but to be successful. And so you knew at that point where both mentally and physically you couldn't take it any longer. Your health was an issue. You were working with your doctors that were going to put you on medication. So again, the health issue. You were willing not only to take the step, but to do whatever it took to be successful in your steps. And so you quickly surrounded yourself with a support system.
Being ready, something clicking for someone, getting to that, so to speak, aha moment. It could be anything, couldn't it?
Right. You knew the trigger. You knew exactly when. You were willing to, whatever it took, I will make the appointment, I will follow up on the appointment, I will do what it takes to read the labels, do the exercise activities. Was it easy? No. But you knew when you were ready to take all those steps.
And people at home, they will know when they're ready to.
Absolutely.
It's different for every person.
That's right. And that aha moment is different for every person. Well said.
When I saw myself on that giant screen, I was faced with the reality something had to change or I might not be here for long. I asked Dr. Milady Murphy what I should do, how can I get healthy, and she sent a life-changing email that laid the groundwork for my new healthy way of life.
Joining me again is Dr. Milady Murphy, health expert with Shelton State Community College. Dr. Murphy, I have in my hands here the actual email you sent me back January 27th, 2012.
Wow.
And in that email, you recommended that I look up and at the Mediterranean way of eating. Will you tell the folks at home a little bit about what that is and why is that so healthy?
Well, you know, Janie, every medical organization that deals with health and obesity recommends the Mediterranean diet. It is the staple for nutrition in the Mediterranean countries where they have the lowest risk of heart disease, cancer, obesity, diabetes, especially type 2. First of all, in the Mediterranean diet, olive oil instead of butter and margarine is the foundation.
And you also told me when I was looking at this way of eating that no more fried, get away from that as much as possible, and do baked, broiled, or grilled. And fish and chicken are important as well. And if we're going to do red meat, lean, very little.
Right.
And so that's what we at my house, my husband's been cooking. He does all the cooking for us.
Yes.
And so that's what he's been doing. And it literally, once I started this in that January month of 2012, 35 pounds initially just flew right off. And it was the healthy way of eating, including also a lot of beans and things that we like to eat as well. And it was smaller portion sizes too. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. A typical day of eating, Dr. Murphy, used to be one of those big breakfast platters that you get at the fast foods with the bacon and the eggs and the biscuits and the gravy. And then at lunch, maybe a foot-long sub, and at supper, fried chicken and all that stuff. And I have brought here now, this is what I'm having today. And so I brought for you, because this is what we had talked about.
Yes.
This is home-cooked oatmeal with some apple and cinnamon that I used water actually for that. But skim milk is very, very good too. Some mid-morning snack as a banana, and then some homemade vegetable soup. My mother makes that, and I really enjoy it. No chemicals. It's just
all
really
natural.
Good and nutritious. A snack for around 3 o'clock. I always seem to get hungry, so I do some fruit and some almonds.
Janie.
And then at dinner, this usually has some chicken in it, but this is just vegetable stir-fry with brown rice. And then if I want a little something later on, if I want something sweet, I'll have like a half a cup of some low-fat ice cream.
Being in the film inspired me to make a change. With the help of Dr. Murphy, I started eating differently, and for the first time, I found a way to exercise I enjoyed. And slowly, the weight began disappearing.
One other component that I tried 2 years ago and has stuck and seems to have been successful was I ditched my old plate this is what I used to eat on every night. I had grown way past the regular circle plate. I was in the platter mode. Every night, this was it. I was eating way too many portions of all the foods. And I switched immediately that day you sent me the email, and this is what I've been on ever since. And every night, I get this out, and I fill it full of my healthy foods, and I don't look back.
Right.
I can't go back to this because I know if I do, I'm one of those people, I got to clean my plate. So this helps me with portion control.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about portion control and how that it seems now everywhere we go when we're eating out, it's almost the food of 2 and 3 people that we're getting, and we don't realize it. You think that that's what you should be eating when really it's not.
You know, Janie, and this is a very good teachable moment out there. This platter out there, when you fill it with the foods, whether it's the good foods or the bad foods that we're talking about in those categories, you're consuming enormous amount of calories. The average individual today is not able to utilize those calories effectively, whether it's because of the way we are at work, even the amount of time we're able to devote to physical activity. Our body no longer is designed to burn 2,000 to 3,000 calories in one meal. Never mind 6,000 to 8,000 calories over a course of a day, unless you're an Olympian, and we're not in what we do. So first of all, by switching to something from large to small, the portion control, the body is able to utilize the calories effectively in our metabolic rate, in how much calories we burn. Now that you've become more educated, the calories you're now consuming are healthier calories as well. They're loaded with fruits and vegetables and lean sources of protein. So you're getting lots of fiber in your diet, in the portion, to fill you up and to build up your immune system. And so that is the key to your lifestyle process. Not only changing and how many calories you consume, but healthy, educated calories that improve your health in your journey to a healthy lifestyle.
Nearly 20 years of bad eating habits had taken its toll on my body, but I couldn't see it. Seeing myself in a new way was a wake-up call, and it inspired me to make a change for the better. Changing foods and exercises started a change on the outside and the inside. But I didn't do it alone. My family and friends have been right beside me the entire time, encouraging me and helping me build a new life.
Once I had dropped some weight off, I wondered one day, what would happen if I just went for a walk? That's the honest truth. What would happen if I just went for a walk? Would I like it? Would I hate it? And I put on my tennis shoes and went out during my lunch break. Loved it. And it made me feel so good overall.
We now know that exercise has to be an integral part of the formula for successful weight maintenance. Once you get that weight off, if you want to be successful in keeping that weight off, you have to do things to stimulate your metabolic rate, that fat fuel burning process as we age. And exercise is critical in doing it. The key is to start out slow and to infuse it into your lifestyle where you enjoy it. You didn't see it as punishment. You talked about a support system.
Yes.
Your support system of family and friends went with you and motivated you. That is a good way to ensure consistency and continuity with any exercise program. So exercise is critical in the weight maintenance and in the fat burning process.
You have been so helpful, and
Thank you, Janie.
I'm eternally grateful to you for all you've done for me, all your encouraging, your expert advice and encouragement along the way have just been instrumental. And I have a strong support system of my husband, my family, his family, and my close friends at work and in other places. It has really been something amazing to me to have that support, to people, you know, to step up and say, hey, you know what, you're doing really good. I'm proud of you. Keep doing whatever you're doing, because that makes you want to continue to do well. Because there are days when you don't feel good, and there's days when you just don't want to do anything. You kind of fall back. But that encouragement, that support team, helps you get right back up and get on the path and doing well again.
Having them, and you said the key, when you don't feel like doing it, on days that you're tired, having that group of people, whether it's a colleague, whether it's a family member, whether it's your physician, whether it's your healthcare practitioner, having a team, a support team there for you will ensure success, consistency, and continuity in helping you not only getting the weight off, which you've done, but keeping the weight off for the rest of your life. And that is one of the critical components in being successful in a weight loss program, is the support system. It is just as important as learning to eat right, label reading, exercise, the variety of exercise activity. A support system is critical in that component of being successful in weight maintenance for the rest of your life.